What is up, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? First off, thank you all so much for let me clear my throat first, for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. This video is something I've been wanting to share. It was sitting in my mind, or sitting in my thoughts, whatever you, I don't know whatever you like to call it. This video is going to be 5 quick tips on how to improve your calligraphy and brush lettering. These are tips that I have learned over the course of time on how to improve, or how I was able to improve. If you follow me on Instagram, links, all my social media links are in the description, and if you scroll back deep in my feed, you could see the growth in my work from the beginning to where it is now. And with that said, let's get into the 5 quick tips. So the first tip that you want to the first tip you want to learn is applying pressure at different points. And as an example, if you could see back here, constant elevation, all these pieces, any calligraphy piece in general, I'm not sure if you can see it good, it's pretty far away, but all different. So at every piece, or every letter, let me show you, I have it right here in my pocket notebook. At different points, you have different thicknesses of the letters of when you have to apply pressure and when you do not. And the same goes with constructing a calligraphy piece using an actual pointed pen or broad edge pen, automatic pen, whatever pen you use for calligraphy, because pressure and knowing when to apply them is what shows what the letter actually is. So that was tip number 1. So tip number 2 is practicing entering strokes differently. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have all my notes here on my iPhone 8 Plus. Yeah, entering strokes differently. And this typically, I would say, can be used more so for brush lettering compared to calligraphy, because calligraphy, they are, let me make sure I don't delete the rest of my notes, and that, as I was saying, could be used more so towards brush lettering, because you're going to you'll fall into a point where you feel like all my work is starting to look the same. Damn, what am I doing? What could I do to improve? And what I learned is, if you write an S like this, try writing an S coming in at an angle like that, or doing it backwards, and you'll end up coming with something brand new. You write an F like this, try writing an F like that, or writing an F, just really being loose in your flow and how you go about normally writing. So that was tip number 2, practice entering strokes differently. Alright, so now tip number 3, sketch out the piece first and go over it with your brush pen. This typically works better for brush pen work, and I say that because me before, and I still do this, I would not sketch out my brush pen work. I tend to just do it freely and just let it come to me organically with the placement and the flow of everything. And I feel that works for me. And when I also do a piece that I want to have, look even better than if I was just to do it off the top of my head, I sketch out how I want everything to go. And that helps a lot. A lot of artists that you think don't do that, they do. They just either erase it or they know how to hide it through editing. Alright, so that was tip number 3. Sketch out the piece first and go over it with your brush pen. So number 4, número 4. study other artists' work. And that is one major thing, because I'll say that a lot of the people that you follow online, especially Instagram, if you see their work, you'll start to be inspired by them, and then you'll see, oh, you know what, they did it that way, let me try that out and see. And then you'll end up noticing other people's work who's been inspired by them. You'll say, oh, okay, this looks like such and such work, this looks like such and such work. And also, once I got this book, this is Dangerous Curves, Mastering Logotype Design by Doyle Young. Once I got this, so much work on Instagram from lettering artists. You could tell who has picked this book up. It's pretty pricey, but well worth it, with the vast array of work in it. Okay, continuing on, that was number 4, study other artists' work. And one more thing about studying other artists' work, study other artists' work outside of your country. If you're, let's say, in the Philippines, study somebody's artwork in maybe Africa or the US or Canada. Doing that will expand your creative vision to see how stuff is done differently from someone who could be in their bedroom, outside, or wherever in the world. And shout out to all the people from the Philippines that watch. I really appreciate you. And that was number 4. Well, I appreciate everyone that watches. Study other artists' work, that was number 4. So this is the final one. Almost lost my voice there. Maybe I should have had something to drink before I started shooting this video. Oh well. Alright, so number 5, the final one, is try a different setting for writing and or listening to music while creating. Or, just have some kind of audio on in the background. This is something that I learned when I was freelancing at this ad agency. And because before I really wouldn't think anything of it, and back then I would say I wasn't taking calligraphy as serious as I do now, or doing it as often. And just having like music, a documentary, a movie, something on in the background, to keep the creative juices going. And that is really what works for me. Let me know what you think about these below in the comments. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you